Nobody talks about the mental prison of making a massive amount of money or finding a decent amount of success from a business that you secretly absolutely despise. On paper, you're winning. Your friends envy you, your family thinks you're set, your revenue numbers are hitting an all time high. But the brutal, unvarnished truth is that you dread waking up on Monday mornings because you are exhausted. You have built a monster that is draining your energy, draining your sanity, and trapping you into a delivery model that you completely hate. You've traded your freedom for a high paying prison sentence where you are the primary inmate. Look, I'm Brooke Plack, a multi seven figure operator who's built an operations empire from scratch. I don't give fluff advice. I don't give live coaching from the cloud. I literally have built businesses and understand where you are. So the only reason my companies now make predictable profits is because I landed in my own high income slump. But when I did, I implemented a strict 25-hour work week system that got me to a place where I refused to stay miserable. I refused to stay tired. I refused to stay drained. And I was no longer going to live in that place where I despised my businesses because they were sucking the life out of me. And instead, I executed a strict operational turnaround audit and a ruthless alignment system. So to re-architect my businesses without tanking all of my cash flow, because sometimes it's not the businesses that you're hating, but the way that you are running them. And today in this episode, I'm breaking down exactly what to do when you secretly hate the businesses that you built. They could be your passion businesses. Maybe it's your first business. Maybe it's your fifth business, but you can redesign your business from the studs up. And we're going to talk about that today. So stay till the end of the episode because I'm going to reveal a clean break framework that will be like the single operational pivot that I think will make a big difference and kill maybe an exhausting product offering without losing your best clients. So let's look at the real data here. Hating your business, just being honest here, is not a sign that you're ungrateful. Okay. There's this like shame and guilt that comes with like, but I built something and it's successful and I should love it and everyone else loves it, but I feel like it is eating me alive. It's not a sign that you're ungrateful. It's an objective operational sign that your business model has outgrown your personal alignment and the infrastructure needs an overhaul. Maybe you're doing roles that you're no longer needed in, or maybe you are responsible for things that's not your best like gift to the company, right? Maybe you're doing something, maybe finances aren't your thing, but marketing is, and you're spending all your time in finances. Well, it's draining you and you're not being as, efficient and productive and like giving the best gifts you have each day. And that's going to leave your bucket completely empty. Okay. So first, we have to diagnose this fulfillment trap. So if you're stuck selling like a high ticket customized service or some complex delivery mechanism or consulting packages that are forcing you to trade your personal time and creative brain power for cash flow, we have got to shift you out of that. And here's how you fix it is you shift from customized execution to something that is highly structured and turning it into a product model. Okay. Something that's repeatable that can be repeated not by you, but by an automation tool or another human. Okay. And like sometimes it's like, yeah, but there's nobody else that can do this like I do. There is. There actually is. If they can do it 85% as good as you can, then I guarantee you it's going to be good enough. So if the service that you're providing cannot be cleanly written out in a 10-minute workflow, via SOP, like your standard operating procedures, whether they're in Google Drive or Teams or wherever you store your documents in the cloud, you are actually selling a job and not a company asset. And if you're ready to stop letting your business consume your personal sanity and want raw, real world systems, be sure that you subscribe or follow the show because we drop episodes twice a week, almost every single week. And we're really just trying to give back to other entrepreneurs and business owners in the community. So, all right, the second thing. So first we had to figure out what the system issue, the fulfillment issue is. If it was too complicated, we've got to simplify it. The second one is clearing the client and culture contamination. So sometimes it takes realizing that you hate, like the reason that you hate your company isn't the work itself, but it's your toxic high maintenance clients or the completely reactive team culture that you accidentally attracted during your like early panic growth phases. So I remember hiring people in the beginning and I literally said to someone, they're like, okay, what's my job? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, but I just need you to do some of what I do. I mean, that was the job description. And they did, and they came and they did, and they sailed off into the sunset and are no longer with our companies, a decade and a half later. But in the beginning, you hire all of these people because you need help doing all the things to fulfill all the stuff. But then, oh my gosh, I literally just didn't say anything, right? I gave you no specific responsibilities, no autonomy, no accountability. And so realizing that it could be the culture of the workforce, been there. It could be the toxic clients. And when you get rid of both, you can think again. Listen to it from a girl that is a year and a half into this journey. You can think again once you remove those two obstacles. So how you do that is you've got to deploy your hiring and delegation playbook. What is it you're hiring for? What are their responsibilities? What does the accountability look like? And give them the autonomy to get the job done. And once you have done that, if you can put a manager in place or we call them department leaders between you and your client base, your ability to think, to get things done, and to execute well for the company is a game changer. So we call it our customer experience department leader. So they're responsible for everything our customers experience from start to finish when they're with our company. So if the key is you must remove yourself as the primary point of contact. Now, do customers still contact me, especially ones I was like hands-on with 10 years ago? You bet. Do I service them? Yes. But I get them back into the pipeline, into the customer experience department as fast as possible. I'll answer their question and be like, hey, I don't want to forget. So let me get you in touch with Kaylee, or let me get you with Melissa, because you want to make sure that you take care of them. You love them. You cherish them. They're your customer. They're paying money to your company to deliver a service or a product to them. And so because you care so much, that's why I want to get you with the person that can make sure we get you what you need, because your schedule gets so busy and all those things come around. Right? So does that make sense? I hope so. Yes, just not on the other side. No, I can't see it. So that's why I always ask you guys to leave comments, because then I know what you're thinking. So let me know in the comments. But that was a like light bulb moment for me, for sure. Or as my friend Sarah says, new neuron connections. Okay. All right. And the last thing is the operational turnaround audit. So you have to figure out how to structurally redesign your business model without destroying your monthly revenue and margins or creating like some massive cash flow swings. And so for me, what this looked like is used to, like, if you had an organizational chart and you had a circle in the middle, there was me, and then little things like little spider webs going out everyone else. And I was like, and everybody else was like, Brooke. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I flipped our organizational chart, and now I'm on the side with my executive team and then the department leaders. And I do have departments that I'm over too, but I'm not over every department. And then they have assistant department leaders. And that's how all the staff comes in through those pipelines. And so it also helps you stop like making like random secondary offers, and, forces you to really look at your financials, because when you start looking at it from this responsibility lens, this is what you're responsible for, and this is what you're responsible for, and this is what you're responsible for. It helps you kind of conduct a ruthless, like tool stack and service audit, because if you're letting other people truly manage and handle their business, you don't need 75 tools like communicating with everybody. So at that point, you're able to look at your top 20% of your offers that yield 80% of your profit and have the least amount of human complexity, and start to sunset the rest. And so less noise often can equal more margins, which also circles back to just what I said about the toxic clients and about a team that you're working with, but not as like no longer aligned with the culture where your company needs to be going. All right. So at the beginning, I told you I was going to talk about the clean break framework. And this also has to do with surviving the death of your ego. I know that is something that's like, I don't have an ego, but we all do. Like, we're all programmed that way. We all do. And so the exact steps that you phase out, like during your most draining times, your misaligned offers, you must have the courage to let go of the top line vanity metrics when you do that. Because if you're going to get rid of some offerings, you may see a revenue dip. You may not be at 7 figures. You may drop down to 6, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But you have to realize that who you are, The mission of your company, the success of your company is not dependent just on a PL, but high income misery occurs when your revenue metrics are outgrowing your personal values boundaries, because more revenue doesn't always mean more profit. But true executive maturity means executing the clean break. Stop selling your old offers immediately to new prospects and give a firm end date on things that you need to fulfill, or like contracts you need to fulfill. And then move your core capital, your time, your money, and your resources to what it is that's truly building your company in the long run, so that you can start to streamline that product engine. But unfortunately, and this part's not great, but like, you have to kill the business you hate to build the asset that you actually gives you your life back. And there is a messy process in there in the middle. And depending on the size of your business, the size of your team, and the amount of change you're taking, that timeline could look different for anyone. But a multi-million-dollar business, remember this, that requires you to sacrifice your sanity, your peace of mind, and your personal identity just to survive a week isn't an asset. It's an incredibly expensive mistake. So it's time to stop letting top line metrics keep you hostage to the model that you despise, and start building the empire that honors your life and who you are and what you stand for, instead of letting a business consume it.